Is every Clipper brand now cooked? How can they keep making the same mistakes over and over? Are the other brands just suing each other for fun? Let me know what brand you think is the most legit of them all, because things are getting crazy real fast. Barbers are cooked a long time, but now Clipper brands are letting it all slide. Have you noticed this? Join me now as we discuss the crumbling of the barber world, only on Barber News.
Oh, crying. I'm really just a dickhead, I'm really just a dickhead. Don't act like you don't know me. This camp deserve a trophy. Baby, they know me straight. They're the most crying in history. Power potent, go show up. This camera clippers blow up. It's bossy, oh crying. 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 Bossy, oh crying.
So everyone is suing each other because the play trimmer is so good. Now, listen, I'm not some wizard or fortune teller, but ever since the play clipper and play trimmer dropped, it seems like every other clipper brand, except TPOB, of course, is losing their minds. I mean, seriously, it feels like they're freaking out and don't know what to do. Instead of innovating, they're just suing. It's like the barber industry turned into an episode of Judge Judy. And to those stressed out CEOs like Austin from Scamma, Dennis from Babyliss, and yes, even the old man from Tomb, relax, chill out. There's enough business for everyone, I promise. That is, until you realize that TPOB isn't just holding the crown, they're running away with it. Fastest growing clipper brand in the world, providing the best quality for the best prices. You can't compete with that, my friends. So to all those brands losing sleep over TPOB, how about you just take a seat and suck on my shiny green cheeks? Yeah, I said it. You're acting like a shadow of your former selves. Brands that once innovated, now reduced to courtroom battles because you can't handle a little competition. Absolute cowards. Here's the real question. Is TPOB unfair or evil because they're raising the bar? Nah. The real issue is y'all can't keep up. Crying foul because a company is doing better? That's just embarrassing. And let's compare this to sports for a second. Imagine Nike fans attacking Adidas buyers, screaming, "I roll with Nike till I die. Adidas is for losers." That doesn't happen. It's ridiculous. So why is the barbering industry so dramatic? It's clippers, not gang wars. If you're thinking like this, you're delusional. You're cooked. At the end of the day, TPOB is here to stay. Either step up your game or step aside. It's that simple. And for the ones who get it, welcome to the future of barbering. Let's keep it moving. Ugh, I am so fed up over these clipper brands. But can we take a quick moment to look at this? So remember that stinky barber who made fake accounts and posted pictures of people's families online to gain attention? The guy who was jealous he wasn't TPOB. The same guy who lives in his Discord group. The guy who sells clipper mods. Well, after his company failed, well, it actually failed years ago, but he just pretended it was still in action for years. But now after years of ideas, he now sells key rings for barbers. Wow, that's so creative. I hope that works out for you, and I know your cousins are fully behind you on whatever it is you do. What a creep. So what's the goal here with all these clipper brands suing each other? Are they trying to bankrupt each other so no one else is left standing? Do they actually believe there's going to be just one brand selling clippers at the end of this? Like, come on, wake up. Instead of wasting time in courtrooms, these brands need to start putting in the work, listening to what barbers actually want, and improving their products. But no, instead, they'd rather argue about who copied who, when every single clipper needs a blade, a lever, and a case. What are they going to stand up in court and say? Your lever looks like my lever? It's embarrassing. If you ask me, these lawsuits are nothing more than a bunch of grown-ups throwing tantrums because they can't handle competition. And don't get me started on these so-called influencers. They're out here getting paid to promote brands they don't even use, pretending they know what barbers want, when the reality is they know nothing. All they do is lie, push products, and pretend they're part of the culture. Honestly, influencer should just be renamed to full-time bullshitter. But hey, let's not get sidetracked. At the end of the day, every clipper brand has similar parts. The real question is, why aren't they focusing on making those parts better? Why aren't they innovating? Instead of wasting time on lawsuits, why not spend that money on someone who knows about clippers or, I don't know, listening to the barbering community? Let me know in the comments. Do you think these clipper brands are copying too much? And do you think lawsuits are the answer, or is it just a waste of time? Another thing I'm noticing is that I'm seeing a lot of clipper brands suddenly showing up at barber shows, shaking hands, taking selfies, and acting all friendly. Is this out of desperation? I think it is. Years ago, these same brands wouldn't even look in a barber's direction. Their egos were through the roof. They didn't care about the community, didn't care what we wanted, and definitely didn't care about our feedback. But now they're suddenly showing up, smiling in our faces, acting like they care. Is this because I've been calling them out? Am I finally making an impact on the barbering world? Or is this just another way to sell us overpriced stock at these shows? Because, let's be honest, they've betrayed us for far too long. At this point, anything they do feels suspicious. Take Scamma, for example. Yeah, you heard me, Scamma. Rumor has it they're close to shutting down and trying to offload their remaining stock. But are they dropping the prices to give barbers a break? Nope. They're keeping those prices sky high, just waiting to cash out at the next barber show. It's like they're trying to squeeze every last dollar out of us before they're gone for good. And that brings me to a question for you all. Do you think clippers are getting too expensive? What's a fair price now? I know some of you will flex and say, I'll pay anything for the best tools. But let's be real. Most of us are normal barbers who want value for our money. So what's your max? What's the most you'd pay for a clipper? Drop your answers in the comments because I want to know where you stand. Is $200 fair? $300? Are we crazy for paying $400 or more? Let's have this conversation because it's time these brands stop taking us for granted. Look, I don't want to be the bad guy here. I'm not trying to slate anyone or complain about someone making money. Good for them. But let me assure you, a lot of these brands are playing dirty. And if we don't speak up, if we don't answer back, they'll crush us. Then what? We won't stand a chance. We'll be completely cooked. And who's gonna save us? Stinky Phil and his mighty key rings? Highly doubt it. The man can barely get out of bed, let alone take on these brands. These companies are quick to point fingers at each other, but would they ever stop and support a local barber with no followers? Absolutely not. For them, it's all about profit. Always has been, always will be. You can't change that. So that's why I need to be here. I need to keep them in line, to educate you, the barbers, about what's really going on behind the scenes. Otherwise, we'll all be in the same pot. And trust me, it'll be cooked to the point of no return. Now I want to know, do you think it's fair for me to ask these questions? To call out these brands and demand better? Or should I just sit back and stay quiet? Because for me, this isn't just content. It's important. Let me know in the comments if you think these conversations matter, because they do to me. We need to hold these brands accountable before it's too late. Don't let them cook us alive. All right, let's end this on a high note. TPOB has some seriously exciting new products dropping soon, and if you think you know what they might be, drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear your guesses. Oh, and I've got a big announcement coming soon. I'm also thinking about doing a huge giveaway, but only here on YouTube. So if you're interested, blow up the comments and show me that you're ready for it. If enough of you want it, I'll make it happen. That's it from me, everyone. Don't forget to smash that like button, drop a comment, and hit the bell so you don't miss what's coming next. And as always, catch me next time only on Barber News. Peace out. And hey, try not to get cooked in the barbershop. And remember, don't be afraid to tell your clients you hate them. Peace.